Hey, hey all. Yep. Okay. So I ran into a situation, and the situation is that, well, I painted the mast in the fuselage and laid on the aluminum paint. The problem is I only had one can, and it looks like I needed two. Which I should have had, and somewhere in the back of my head, I thought I had another maybe half a can in reserve, but I don't. And well, today's I won't be able to go and get more paint for a day or two. I've got too much other stuff happening here. So this and I can't. Here's the thing: I masked the airplane, and this was yesterday. And once you've done that, you kind of need to get the paint on and then get the masking off. And the reason for that is tape residue on painted surface. The longer you leave this on, the stronger the chance that there's going to be a lot of cleanup necessary for the residue from the tape. So here's, let me see if you guys are getting this. Here's what we're seeing on those wings. You can see there's quite a bit of, you know what I'm saying? And fuselage is fine, you know, but the wing surfaces. Now, here's what I could do. I could remove this. Excuse me. Good morning. I could remove this now, get it off of the airplane, see what I'm dealing with for residue from the tape. In a day or two, get another can or two of my gloss aluminum paint, mask the fuselage to here, in other words, right about to this line on both sides, and just spray the wings again. And the tail, apparently the tail also is a bit thin. Yeah, and I could do that and just call the fuselage good. And I think that's what I think that's where I've landed here. I've got to get this off. So we're going to do that now. And it's going to take a minute. And I just want you all to, you know, understand that sometimes when we're in the project, we just have to roll with what we've got. And this is one of those times, right? Next time, I'll make sure that I've got loads of paint and, you know, overkill on supply before I begin the job. I just thought, without checking, that I had a little extra reserve of this color since I use it so often. And I didn't. I don't. And now, you know, this has to come off very carefully. And I'm going to run into trouble back there now. So let's take a look at that real quick. Right. All right, so anyway, you know, little problems. These are first world issues. Not the end of it, but a lesson learned, I think, on making sure one has the necessary materials to begin a job before he begins the job, and not leave it to chance or assumption, which is what I did. So, you know, now it's going to take a little extra time and effort to complete the DC-3 properly, but I've got to get this off. So you see, I laid on saran wrap for the most part to hopefully reduce the amount of actual tape contact with the painted surfaces. You know, you just lay tape along the edges of the pre-cut little pieces of saran wrap, or you know, whatever brand of plastic wrap you use, or whatever you decide to mask with. You can use cardstock pieces cut to size, or this stuff. This stuff can be tricky to work with, as you know. It sticks to itself, and sometimes you run into issues over that. You know, see, really did an elaborate job on this. All right, here we go. That's what I was looking for. Sort of. We're running in a few different directions here. You get to witness the mayhem. Firsthand. There we go. I don't know what that looks like, but we'll find out. Okay, back to this. Here we go. Let's get this plastic off of here. So as I'm taking this stuff off, working as slowly as I can, and carefully and thoughtfully and cautiously, and it's important to remember that these projects are just, they're supposed to be fun, and having a reason. Uh-oh, that's not a good line. Or is it? Oh yeah, there's tape under that. Okay. Sorry, I'll show you what I'm looking at here in a minute. As soon as I figure out what I'm looking at here. Alright, so anyway, you know, I'm not gonna get upset about paint. There's no point to it. This is just how it worked out on this particular project. And as I said, oh, that's right onto the paint. Well, that looks pretty good. I don't see the residue I was afraid of there. Come off nice and easy, big fella. So here I'm pulling tape from painted surface, and there's still more tape to pull, but it's coming off pretty clean. I had no way of knowing that it would. I was just concerned, because it's happened so many times before, where that tape residue, and it can really create a problem. And I was concerned that that was happening. And maybe I shouldn't have been so concerned, but we'll see. Alright, so now that's clear. So that's all of the plastic saran wrap off. It looks alright. There's a fleck of the dry paint there. Anyway, all right, well, oh no, there's a bit more plastic here. Let's get that off. And see what we're looking at here. Yeah, okay. Oofed. Pull this one up. Slowly. So I painted this yesterday evening, and I have no idea how well or poorly or intermediately it's been masked here. We're finding out at the same time. You know, what kind of condition we're in. I apologize if the camera angle isn't terrific. It's the best I can do in this space. So one of the things that I do when I'm masking these is I consider touch-up afterward. For instance, I don't expect to just get a flawlessly perfect outcome from my masking tape effort. Obviously it's gonna, even the best job is going to require some cleanup, some touch-up, some extra work on the back end, post-editing if you will. So, and once you understand and accept that that's the case, it makes it a lot easier. You know, you're still gonna take your time and do the best you can to get a clean, application of your masking effort. But you know, once you know that, well, you know, there's going to be an opportunity for a feller to apply his other skills too. So, and you can see that clearly here. There's going to be minimal areas for touch up, little white paint, little red paint, little this, little that, and what you don't want though is to have it look as if the airplane wasn't masked at all. You know, you'd have to do a pretty rough job for that. I've been there. You know, masking these off for this, especially an airliner or other elaborate type of paint scheme. It's no joke. It's you know, as you all know, if you've ever masked and painted an airliner or done any really elaborate paint scheme, you know what I'm talking about. So far, you know, I'm getting, it's a nice result, and I don't see the tape residue that I was concerned about. So that's both good news and bad news, because now, you know, my attempt to address the wings is going to be, you know, I'll have to do that, and at least I think so. You know, if you have a different opinion, if you think, you know, as far as from a weathering standpoint, remember, I've still got panel lines and decaling to do, and, you know, some of that, when incorporated against such a backdrop as this, can go pretty far towards, oh, I don't know what the word would